where everyone would eat. They did 4 meals a day. One of those was a midnight chow for the night room. All the anecdotes that we've gotten, they ate really well. Also, once in a while, they do like public openings so that people from in town can come in and have dinner.
They would truck in all their supplies from here.
Pair of boots. Kind of like a camp store is the best example I can give for what that was. This building over here, this was the medic building and the military police office. At one point in time, we were told that there was their own x-ray room for the medical side.
It's still in there.
Yeah.
With the lead line walls and everything.
Yep. And pretty much here would ever mail you for the most part. If anything too severe was to happen, though, it would have been shipped out to the We had a dish up top that was constantly spinning 24 hours a day, 365, keeping track of all the local flights, as well as whatever threats might be heading our direction. On top of at the very top would have been a big giant dome to protect all of that equipment from the elements. And it was very powerful stuff. We were told that if you look at this little platform on the side with the ladder going up on the corner, there used to be a trip on that door. As soon as you swung that open, it would actually cut the power to the radar. That way nobody would get cooked or fried while they were outside on the catwalks. That being said, some veterans said they would not be allowed to smoke inside the building, so sometimes they would rig that trip off so they could have a smoke breakout on the balcony from time to time. One gentleman said his buddy came out with a fluorescent light bulb in hand, and he would actually be able to hold it above his head, and it would light up every single time the radar would spin by. I'm not sure how he's doing today, but
Both kinds of radar. Did you mention?
I didn't go into the radar stuff so much. I don't go into these.
I'm going to nerd out a little bit. So there's 2 kinds of radar that they would ever have at a place like this. They'd have a search radar, which is what Ian mentioned, the one that goes around in a circle 360, and then they would have height finder radars. So once they would lock onto a target with the search radar, they would want to figure out what the altitude was, because radar at the time couldn't do both. So they would have, most of these stations had 2 height finder towers, because the height finders could only do one target at once. And so they would basically find a target with a search, they'd spin around the height finder and like go and try and find it in the sky. And eventually they would, so it's like...
Yeah, it's like... All right.
Through my chair here. Look at the
Oh
view.
yeah, just wait till we're on the tower, you're gonna love it.
Oh. Shit about the drone.
It's in my truck. What are these?
Water bottles. We store it down here because it won't freeze over winter.
Okay.
So, if you could imagine, half of this would have been bunk beds, and the other half would have been tables and bench seats. In the very back end, there's a ladder that leads up to an escape hatch. At the top, or on that escape hatch, there's a cap on the top, and this bottom door would have been shut, and that entire cavity would have been filled with sand. So in case an explosion were to go off, it would come down through there and into the room. If you notice this Quonset style ceiling here, this used to be the original dimensions of the bunker at the start, spanning the entire length.
Oh, wow.
Later on, when they built the building above us, they gutted this out and rebuilt it into this more rectangular style that we see today. And once again, they claimed 100 people could fit in practically half a tube.
Well, you're probably not skinny.
One of the ideas we're bouncing around is potentially recreating what was once down here. And if maybe opening that up to groups or families if they want to have that bunker experience to spend a night or two down here.
Hard to pick a bed when it's $100.
It's true.
Yeah, interesting to know. The original bunker, we were told, collapsed because they did the underpinnings wrong. The room above us is currently completely flooded and frozen. You can see that there's no water going in.
It's surprising me how dry it is
Very, very.
This here is the original building, and then what you're standing in here, this is the addition that they've added to the entire outside.
That makes sense.
And if you look at the girders facing below us, I'd love to point that out. Look how closely spaced those are.
They are meant to support.
Yeah, that concrete deck above that is a pretty solid.
And this wall here would have actually been a plug, so this would have been completely sealed off, except for if they were trying to move equipment in and out of this building. Otherwise, you'd have to go around a little horseshoe to get inside of here from one to the door.
Indeed.
So this is the situation room. This used to be the original scope room. So up front would have been big maps of the country. All across the floor would have been scopes, all manned, keeping track of all of the flights that were happening. In the back would have been an elevated platform where the operations officers would have sat to make sure everything was running smoothly. As time progressed, that ended up getting moved to a different room, and then this became what it is today, the situation room. Here would have been special meetings, trainings, maybe a movie for the enlisted, for morale.
This room is extra super shielded.
Yes.
If you check your phones right now, you probably won't have any signal, which is amazing, seeing as the cell towers are literally right next to us.
Probably the best movie theater you'll ever be in. You don't have to worry about people texting.
Correct.
And then, another feature about this room is every door leading into here is a blast door. And each blast door has these metal fins. These actually interlock with the frame to help connect the entire room together to continue that protection from shielding and stuff like that.
So if nukes are falling, we'll probably be in here.
Or down
Or in the bunker.
Right.
Are you sure you want to be like at the top of the radar tower? Just like,
That's
well,
true.
Yeah.
It's been a good run.
Right.
Depends on how
Do you
on how prepped and ready I am.
Do you want to live like that with nobody else?
What?
Yeah. Seems legit. Is this a, what is it?
It's just we have a hole here, so I have that there to make sure.
Okay, no, that's what I want to know. I see some other holes, but just for,
I can do landmarks here.